Hello there, good evening, welcome, it's BOBCAST, it's Tuesday night, it's the 26th of May. Gosh, it's fairly romping along, isn't it? We're heading into June next and then we'll be bursting out all over. That's because of the amount of extra food most of you have been eating during lockdown. Talking of that, do you know that Phil Spector's brother used to work in quality control in the Golden Wonder Factory? And his name was Crispin Spector. But yes, absolutely true. Absolutely true. Of course it was. Crispin Spector. Yes, Phil Spector's brother. Thank you for the gambles for that, all the way from France. So how's your day been today? Mine's been good. And not too many, well, good surprises and nice bits and some exciting bits, some challenging bits. And I'm just concerned really about, that people are finding it difficult with lockdown. They are finding, people find it struggling, they're finding it hard, they're beginning to really wonder what we've got to go for now and how long is this going to last. There's all the political debates going on and it's becoming more political than scientific. So I think I want to say to us all, we need to just keep some perspective and keep the whole thing in perspective as well, because, this is week 10, isn't it? We never have dreamt we'd been in week 10. I think this is BOBCAST number 66. Clickety click. I used to be a bingo caller and I went in and started doing the numbers and, 70, 6 and 6, 66 and 2 and 4 and 22 ducks on a pond and, all those things. And they said to me, you've got to make this more exciting. They've got number 1, Kelly's Eye, number 11, Legs 11, number 10, Downing Street, 21, Key of the Door, 22, two little ducks, 6 and 6, clickety click. It's got to be exciting. I enjoyed calling the bingo numbers, so I got off and I was doing really well. Number 9, doctor's orders, and all those things, 6 and 6, clickety click, and 22, ducks on a pond, 2 dozen, 24, 3 dozen, 36, top of the house, number 99, all those things, 6 and 2, clickety duck. Didn't go down too well. The professionals were all sucking their gums. They used to suck teeth, but teeth were off the menu that day. So I got a bit of a surprise today. I've got an itch. Ooh, that to be a good scratch, you know what I mean? Absolutely great. I've got a bit of a surprise today. I went to see a psychic. Not a sidekick, a psychic. I knocked on the door. She said, "Who is it?" So I left. I love it. I also discovered an amazing fact that a Norwegian got to the South Pole in 1911. Do, 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 do. Who wants to be a millionaire? Well, I only came in for the last sort of 5 questions, but the girl from Cambridge who was on that tonight was superb. Her thought process and all those things. And what a gamble. She'd won £125,000. She was there. She'd set her emergency thing at £125,000, and she got to 250, and then this was the $500,000 question. Gosh, it was really, really good, and she got it wrong. And to be fair, I would have said B as well. I thought it was 1901. I hadn't realised it was as near to the sort of First World War, really, of 1911 and all the stuff going on in Sarajevo. And, it was quite a mixed time in Europe in those days. A history lesson. Talking of Europe, I did discover today, which has been worrying me for a long time, why Toblerone is triangularly shaped. Shaped like a triangle, Toblerone. Well, it's so that they fit in the boxes. That's why they're shaped the way they are. Someone's I've just read this one for the first time. I used to play in a band called the Hinges. We supported the Doors. That's an open and shut case, if ever I saw one. A completely open and shut case. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yes, my wife and I recently bought a bird of prey, and we found it'll only fly at night. Oh, that's interesting. It's just jumped. Found it'll only fly at night when we have some 80s music playing. It's orchestral manoeuvres in the dark. Ooh, that's a real 80s. That's a real 80s joke, isn't it? It's, yeah. But, lockdown is shocking us all, isn't it? And, well, being in lockdown all these weeks, I thought I'd better go and check out my allotment. I went, I couldn't find it anywhere. I realised I completely lost the plot. Completely. So, yesterday I was talking about cars. We got up to Morris Marinas and Austin Allegros. And it was after that I got my first company car. And actually that's one of the reasons I left the civil service, because I wanted a company car. And one day I was in a bad mood, so I applied for every job in the Glasgow Herald that had a company car and got a job selling photocopiers. PNF 630W, one dark blue, brand new Cortina Estate 1.6L. That was a great car. Really, really enjoyed it. That was such a, whoa, I made it into the big league then, Cortina Estate. Yeah, absolutely. None of this Sierra rubbish for me. And then went through a sort of variety of company cars, really, which was quite nice. It was quite impressive. I had a Cavalier Estate, a Cavalier GL Estate. That was a fancy one because it had a cassette player in it, where you could press the button and it automatically swapped sides. I mean, that was really trendy in its day. And yeah, I remember having my cassette player in there, and yeah, it was good. It was very good, very good indeed. I was wondering what's going on here. I've got my book resting on my keyboard because everything has been going completely spare on my screen. I just wondered what it was. As you know, I was in the music business for a time, and people often ask me why I made a hip hop album about yogurt. I said I did it for the culture. Come a chameleon. Boy George culture, bit of culture club. Join the club if you like. So we moved through, and the old Cavalier estates and things. Then a bit of promotion came my way, and I got my first Audi. Yeah, that was lovely. A D147 HNV. Great car. Really enjoyed that. And then a Carlton, Vauxhall Carlton. And then changed companies, moved on to Mercs. They were nice, enjoyed those. And then a Fiat Panda. Loved my Fiat Panda. I bought that myself. So a Fiat Panda and a Montego Estate. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake. But there we are. Anyhow. Some poetry? Yeah. We haven't done any Shakespeare at all since I've been doing poetry, so I thought today we'd do a sonnet, and sonnet number 18. I looked at 17 and 16, but thought, no, I'm going to be 18 because I sort of wanted to, I've come of age. A dung beetle, by the way, walks into a pub and it says, "Is this stool taken?" Oh, that's a horrible joke. That's really not a good joke. Not a good joke at all. I don't think I'm going to tell that one again. No, definitely not. Come on then, let's have a bit of Shakespeare, shall we? Sonnet 18, you'll know it. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. As long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. I can't pretend to understand it all, but it is fabulous. I just love, well, you couldn't get better really, the way that Shakespeare uses words. He was pretty good, wasn't he? He wrote a lot of plays. That was a millionaire question as well. He'd written more plays than quite a lot of other people. So yeah, all good stuff. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Sonnet number 18. I think you've heard enough about cars. We'll maybe talk about animals tomorrow. Pets, what pets we've had, and if I remember. But today's an interesting day. It's the 26th of May, and it's the day when we remember St. Augustine of Hippo, not the animal. He wasn't a hunter, but St. Augustine of Hippo. And I have a bit of a sort of strange relationship with St. Augustine, because when I was at theological college, I failed a doctrine essay based on St. Augustine. And that was a disaster. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It was awful. I was going to jack it all in. Those of you who know me know that when things go wrong, right, that's it, throw it all away. Sell the pencils, do all the bits. And some very kind, very wise somebody said to me, he said, you know, Bob, when you're sitting next to somebody holding their hand and they're coming to the end of their life and they open an eye and they say, I need somebody who got more than 41% in a St. Augustine essay. He said, then they probably deserve to die. No one deserves to die, but... So St. Augustine always has this sort of slightly strange feeling for me. But the thing I like about him is that it's his prayer that I use at the end of each of these services. Services? BOBCASTs. Gosh, I'm in a religious mode. That's because I'm going to record tomorrow morning. I've just written my sermon for Pentecost, so I'm going to record that tomorrow. So it's all getting ready and in the can for to go online on Saturday. So good old St. Augustine. And I hope it's been okay for you today. By the way, what do dentists call their x-rays? Well, they call them toothpicks, of course. And I hope it's been okay for you. You know, we've talked a little bit about those people that we've missed and those people we loved. I think we also maybe give thanks to those people round about us. Those people who cheer us up. Those people who make us feel complete and whole. Those people who challenge us. Those people who support us. Those people who are just there. Those people who ring us. I got a lovely email from someone today saying, this is my pastoral visit to you. How are you, Bob? I just thought, what a lovely thing. It was so nice, so touched. So wherever you are, I hope that God blesses you tonight, today, tomorrow, and is with you and reminds you just how much God loves you. However you see that God, he, she, male, female, it, but however you see God, the God is with you. So watch thou, dear Lord, this prayer of St. Augustine on the day we celebrate him. Watch thou, dear Lord, with those who wake or watch or weep tonight, and give your angels charge over those who sleep. Tend your sick ones, Lord Christ. Rest your weary ones. Bless your dying ones. Soothe your suffering ones. Pity your afflicted ones and shield your joyous ones. And all for your love's sake. Amen. May God bless us and you and all that we love and all we've thought about this day and always. Good night. Sleep tight. Make sure the bugs don't bite.